Hello everyone, today is August 8th, welcome to Cat's Eye Insights. Canada's economy is struggling, and ordinary people are tightening their belts. Yet Quebec's public sector workers are getting another pay raise this year.
The economy is down, but their pay still goes up. What kind of job is that? Sign me up.
First, let's get the numbers straight. On April 1, 2026, most employees in Quebec's public and parapublic sectors received a 2.5% pay increase under their collective agreements. An additional 0.11% inflation adjustment was also triggered, retroactive to March 31st. When compounded, the total increase comes to approximately 2.61%.
2.5 plus 0.11. It may not sound like much. But I have one question. Where does the money come from?
The Quebec government expects real GDP to grow by only 1.1% in 2026. Meanwhile, the provincial deficit is projected to reach nearly $9.9 billion for the 2026 to 2027 fiscal year. In other words, economic growth is weak, and government finances are already stretched. Yet public sector pay continues to rise according to schedule.
GDP moves like a snail, but public sector pay still gets the express elevator right on schedule.
Some people may say, haven't ordinary workers' average wages gone up as well?
Exactly. By that logic, if you average my income with Elon Musk's, I'm a billionaire too. There's just one small problem. All the money is in his pocket, and not a single dollar is in mine.
That is why a 3.5% increase in average earnings does not prove that every ordinary worker received a 3.5% raise. Statistics show that in May 2026, average weekly earnings in Quebec were approximately 3.5% higher than a year earlier. But an increase in the average does not mean everyone received the same increase. Some people moved into higher-paying jobs. Some worked longer hours. Some received no raise at all. Others lost their jobs. An ordinary worker's income depends on whether the company remains profitable and whether the job still exists. Public sector wage increases, however, are written into collective agreements and guaranteed by public finances.
So the ordinary worker's 3.5% is only an average on a spreadsheet. But the public sector's 2.61% is guaranteed in a contract.
The Quebec government cannot print Canadian dollars. The money used to pay public sector wages comes mainly from personal income taxes, corporate taxes, sales taxes, federal transfers and government borrowing. When government revenue is not enough to cover all spending, the shortfall becomes deficits and debt.
The government signs the contract today. Taxpayers pay the bill tomorrow. And the next generation repays the principal and interest the day after that. So why weren't the people paying for this agreement given a seat at the negotiating table?
This is not an argument against reasonable raises for nurses, teachers, care workers or frontline public servants. They also face rising food, housing and living costs. The real question is this. When economic growth is slowing and the government is running a massive deficit, why is public sector income still protected by the system? While ordinary taxpayers, who carry the burden of taxes and debt, must personally absorb the risks of layoffs, pay cuts and business failures.
When the economy is strong, everyone shares the prosperity. So when the economy is weak, why doesn't the government share the hardship with ordinary people?
If the government asks citizens to tighten their belts, it should first demonstrate that it is tightening its own. Public sector employees deserve fair compensation. But shouldn't their wage increases also reflect real GDP per person, median private sector wage growth, the unemployment rate, and the government's fiscal condition?
Economic growth can depend on forecasts. A balanced budget can wait until later. But when it comes to their own pay raise, that must arrive right on schedule.
The government may respond. We have already started cutting jobs. But has the government really become smaller? Next episode. Has the government really downsized? We are Blackie and Miao. See you next time.